How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be starting a brand new series where I discuss and kind of go into further detail on each position at Amazon, what each person does, at least the ones that I personally know and the ones that I've personally done, so I can talk into more detail about them. And these videos are pretty much for new hires or people who are new to Amazon or people who are just curious possibly about cross-training and all that stuff. So if you're new to Amazon, leave a like on this video because you are about to be informed of some of the positions you may do while working at Amazon. And I'm also doing this in a specific order for a specific reason. So today I'm going to be starting this off with inbound shipping dock, and the reason for that is that it's the first thing that happens at an Amazon warehouse. Now, inbound shipping dock is pretty self-explanatory, and it's also not something that's only exclusive to Amazon. A lot of places have inbound shipping docks. Almost every single warehouse ever is going to have an inbound shipping dock, but for those who are brand new and maybe have never worked at a warehouse before, I'm going to be explaining what that is. And basically what an inbound shipping dock is, it's a shipping dock, which is where the trucks come and unload containers and all that stuff. They drop off all the boxes that are going to be either opened up and stored, or they're going to just be shipped as they are, and they're going to be shipped off to an Amazon customer. But they're usually, all these things that are coming in first have to be stored by the stowers, which is why I'm doing this in a specific order, because I didn't want to explain, you know, what stow is first, and I didn't want to explain maybe what pack is first if there's things before that that you might need to know. So starting off with inbound shipping dock, like I said, it's just the trucks that come and unload. They come to the dock, they park, they open up, and then they have their trucks unloaded by the inbound shipping dock workers. Now, what the shipping dock workers do, pretty much, it's pretty self-explanatory. They mostly just unload trucks, but there are kind of sort of different roles that you can have at an inbound shipping dock at Amazon. Now, before I explain all the roles, I will say that I haven't done every single one of them, and I haven't even done too much of shipping dock. Like, I've only done a few weeks worth of experience with shipping dock, so I'm not fully like an expert on the matter. But I will say that the main thing that people do is, one, there's two people usually. Sometimes there's only one, but usually there's about two people who go on the left and the right side of a belt. We have conveyor belts that those people walk on the left and right side in. They go inside the truck. So you walk in, you go all the way down to the end of the truck or wherever the boxes start, and then you just both people start putting both boxes onto the conveyor belt, and the conveyor belt brings it down just like a grocery store. It brings it down to the other dock workers. So pretty much there's two people actually physically unloading the truck and actually putting the boxes from the items in the truck onto the conveyor belt, and they're doing that until the whole entire truck is completely empty, and then they'll go on to the next truck. So those people are pretty much the unloaders of the truck, and then that work that is getting unloaded then goes down to where there's more people on the dock, which is usually what most people do, and that's pretty much building pallets. When you're building pallets, all you're doing is grabbing those boxes that have been unloaded from the truck, and then you're putting them on a pallet. You put as many items as you can until it gets a decent height to where it's not too dangerous or anything, but it's a decent height, and then you'll go ahead, you'll grab wrap, and you'll just wrap. You'll go rotating around the whole entire box, and you'll wrap the entire pallet, making sure that everything is secure to transport and be able to move elsewhere with the pallet jack. And you just leave it there pretty much, and then you grab your next pallet, you put it down, and you keep doing what you're doing all day. It's very, very simple, honestly. Literally all it consists of, if you're inside the truck, is just putting boxes down literally all day. It can get pretty boring. It can get very tiring as well and physically exhausting pretty much, but that's pretty much what you're doing. And if you are the person who is receiving the items, you're just building pallets. All you're doing is palletizing all day, building pallets that are eventually going to be sent up to the stowers for them to open up those pallets and stow. And there also is like one more role as well for shipping dock, which is pretty much, I guess I've heard them call them water spiders at my facility. I'm not sure if that's the official term for these dock workers who do this, but pretty much there's these dock workers who, once those pallets are done being built and they're wrapped already from the second batch of employees that I mentioned, those people will grab their pallet jacks, they'll pick up the pallets, and then they'll bring them to a designated area where the stowers will know, okay, it's time to grab that item. Let's grab those boxes and start unloading them to our employees, or let's send them up through the VRC. But sending them up through the VRC is also like the fourth dock member. Those people grab those pallets, send them up through the VRC, and they decide, you know, who's next, which floor. The VRCs, by the way, are like elevators. They're elevators designated only for shipping stuff. You're not allowed to actually walk into those elevators, but they can ship really, really heavy stuff. Pallets, pallet jacks, all that stuff goes into there. And at my facility, it depends on your facility how many VRCs there are, but at my facility there's two on each side. So there's two on the west side, two on the east side, and they send items throughout the second floor, third floor, and fourth floor. So if a pallet is coming from the first floor, you could send it all the way up to the fourth floor. Go ahead and call on the radio and tell the fourth floor employees, hey, there's a VRC go ahead and open it up and then send the container back down or send the elevator back down, and then that's what happens pretty much. So again, just a little run through. Somebody unloads the truck, somebody puts the items that are from the truck that is being unloaded onto a pallet. Somebody comes and grabs that pallet, puts it in a little designated area, and then eventually the last step is for those people that are working at that designated area to pretty much grab that pallet, and then they decide if they're going to give it to the people on the first floor, because the people on the first floor don't really have to deal with VRCs, so they'll decide if they're going to give it to the people on the first floor, or if they're going to grab that pallet, put it inside the elevator, and give it to the second, third, or fourth floor. It all depends on who needs work, who's the busiest floor, who at the moment is having the least amount of items, who needs to be given more work pretty much, and that's how they decided. You also throw other things into the VRC as well, such as gaylords, which is pretty much big boxes that the stowers will throw their leftovers in, their leftover boxes that can be recycled pretty much. They throw them in the gaylords. Sometimes you may have to put pallet jacks into the VRC if there's a floor that doesn't have any pallet jacks at all, or they're running low on pallet jacks. There's a lot of different things that can be sent into the VRC, but for the most part it usually is pallets that need to be worked on. And then also the people on the second, third, and fourth floor can also send things down, like when they're done with the gaylords and there's no room to put the gaylords anywhere, the used gaylords, the ones that are already filled with boxes to the top, they'll start sending those down, and they'll send those down back to the first floor. Well, the first floor will also grab those and put that in a designated area as well. It's all a big process, and if you don't work here, it might be a lot and it might sound a little bit confusing, so I'm sorry if I'm not explaining it as well, but just know that if you're working inbound shipping dock, those are the main rules. The first 4 ones that I've already explained, and then something that I kind of threw in there at the end as well, where once the VRCs are coming down from other floors with items full in there, once the people up there start deciding, okay, we're going to send stuff down to them, those people pretty much grab whatever is being sent down. If it's a gaylord, they'll send those down. They'll take a pallet, they'll bring it all the way to the part where the gaylords are designated to be recycled, and that's pretty much it. I think dock is the most self-explanatory one, and pretty much kind of the easiest one to explain, I would say, just because it's very common at a lot of different warehouses to have a shipping dock, and it kind of works the same pretty much at every other warehouse as well. Most other warehouses will probably use forklifts to unload trucks, but for the stuff at Amazon, it doesn't come on pallets like that. It just comes straight up from the bottom to top, so you have to unload it that way. Although I do believe there are boxes that do come on pallet jacks in a different side of inbound shipping dock, and they do have forklifters there, but I don't know enough about that side of shipping dock to explain it. So pretty much that's inbound shipping dock. I mean, there's not much else to it. I'll also be doing a video on pros and cons of each position, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe right now. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, if it was helpful for you, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe down below. Inbound shipping dock is a little bit of a different one, simply because most people who get hired on they're most likely not going to do it. I have seen recently some people get hired on and go straight to inbound shipping dock, but for the most part, you're going to avoid this position for a while. You're most likely going to be either in stow or pick if you're in outbound, or pack if you're in outbound. You're most likely going to do one of those things, but there's a slight possibility that you could start off on inbound shipping dock. But the reason that I chose this one first is simply because that is the first thing that happens at an Amazon warehouse. That is the #1 thing that happens. Inbound shipping dock is the first to get any of the work that comes in through Amazon. And then all that stuff eventually gets sent to the water splitter, which I will be explaining in a future video once I update this series. So go ahead and subscribe if you're ready for that, and if you want to know about Amazon and all of their processes, go ahead and subscribe down below. But yeah, I'm gonna end that there, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, leave a like, comment down below what you thought of this, comment down below if you have any more insight on inbound shipping dock, because I'm most likely sure that there's more people out there who know more about inbound shipping dock. But with that being said, I'm gonna end that there. So thank y'all so much for watching. Catch you later.